Alright, so Judith Butler is an American philosopher and gender theorist. Her work has influenced political philosophy, ethics, third wave feminism, and queer and literary theory. Her work on queer theory is based off a notion from Simone de Beauvoir. Beauvoir once remarked that one is not born a woman, but rather becomes one. Butler believes that there is a difference between biological sex and gender, a difference between nature and culture. She concedes that biological sex is stable, and that there will always be different and competing versions of femininity and masculinity. However, she also believes that just as one isn't born male or female, one also isn't born masculine or feminine. Even the declaration of genitalia, meaning that they are either a male or a female, is a social construct. Everything is a social construct. Butler's argument is that gender isn't an expression of biological sex, it's culturally performative. Gender identities equal what is presented on the outside, and the belief that that is how you're supposed to be on the inside. Let's look at this Old Spice ad as an example of what she's talking about. So the man presented in this ad is very much conformed by stereotypes of the male gender. For example, he is very physically fit, strong. His haircut is short, which is another traditional stereotype. He exerts a dominance throughout this ad, being on top of the horse. Even the horse, to an extent, is sort of showing dominance as well. If I'm a man, then I should want to see who identifies as a man. I will then feel the urge to buy the product. For another example, here is a clip of an anime show where a parent walks in on their child. Now, as you can see, the parent has long hair, purple clothing, a skirt, earrings, lipstick, and jewelry on. Can you guess which parent this is? Yep, you got it. It's the father. If you didn't get it, then let's unpack this a bit deeper. Femininity and masculinity are not expressions of nature. Rather, they are cultural performances in which their naturalness is constituted through these personally constrained performative acts. Looking at this toy store as an example to demonstrate that, these are very clearly gendered, as young girls are supposed to go into the pink aisle, which is where you'll find toys such as Barbies, My Little Pony, fairies, dolls, and other kinds of toys. Boys, on the other hand, are meant to go into the blue aisle, where games and toys that were marketed for them will be, such as Legos, Hot Wheels, trucks, buildings, etc. So, in reference to the father earlier, even though he comes of dress as a woman and moves around as a woman, as would be stereotypically stereotyped as a woman, in the show, he is Haruhi's father, and still goes by the pronouns he, his, and him, regardless of his outer appearance. Butler also contributed her theory of performative language. For Butler, there are two types of performative language. Constative language is simply descriptive language. It would be like saying, the stove is hot, or the grass is green. Performative language, on the other hand, is declaratory. It's used to bring something into being. Some examples of this would be statements like, I now pronounce you husband and wife, or it's a girl at a baby shower, which contains a list of performances and expectations solely within that sentence. So how is it useful? It determines gender roles. Are characters or actors going against societal norms, or are they conforming? What does the movie or media say about gender as a whole? For the Old Spice, to be a man You need to look like it, which means you need to look like me, because ladies will love you if you do. Gender performativity is what deciphers how an individual is supposed to act, which is used for advertising items for a specific audience or promoting a heteronormative society. And that'll be all.